in my Bible, more with God.
Blah, y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Aha, just kidding. Y si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Cha-ching! And by the way, guys, I just published a book. It's out on Amazon. It's called Shabbat in Chicago. It's about an audacious single mom who adopted 5 kids while embracing her Latino culture, while being Jewish. And today we have a very special guest. He is one of the fighters for Powerslap, and he was also on season 3. Give it up for the one and only Luke. Woo!
How's it going?
It's going good, brother. I'm happy you're here, bro. You don't understand, man. I had to call your agent, your secretary. Like they kept transferring me, but I'm glad we here, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I gotta say, brother, it's an honor to have you, and I want my fans to kind of get to know us a little bit more. So I want to take us when we first met. So I met Luke in Vegas for Power Slap 10 a couple days before the big event. And we were at the pool party at Circa, and I see Luke and I meet his dad too. One thing I gotta say is that your dad had like a lot of great stories. I think one thing that stood out was that your dad said that your grandfather was a boxer. And that you're the prodigy, like you're the chosen one, and it's so cool you're doing Power Slap, and we hit it off real well. Great storyteller, your father, good vibes. And so that was my first impression when I met you, brother. I want to hear your input too when we first met, brother, and what you thought about that pool party.
I mean, it was a good pool party. I talked to so many people. I'm like, I guess I met you briefly because I'm just like trying to remember the exact moment and what we said. But it was an awesome pool party. I did an interview with Slap News there. And then some of the a lot of the OG slappers were there. Slap for Cash and all of them. So it was cool. It was, it's different, the decisions in my life led me there to just being around a bunch of cool people at a insanely nice pool party. Like life's, gone full circle, really.
Wow, brother. And was that your first time in Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, I've been there in the airport. That's it. So that was my first time to really experience it. Well, other than the show. But like we went to Vegas and me and my friends checked out the Sphere and a couple things, but like I didn't really get to see everything. So staying in Vegas, that was my first time. Like other than the show, it's not the same experience, because I was in a house with no phone for it was like 8 days, 9 days. That was crazy.
Whoa, bro. And look at this. Look all the blessings that happened that now you got to fight Power Slap 10. You won. We already knew you were gonna win, brother. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I was voting for you. I said that's my boy. You know what I'm saying?
I was confident in that fight.
Right. Tell us, can you take us that moment when you went to the stage and like what was going through your mind, and after you won too, like if you could spill the beans, maybe not the cheese, it mean a lot. You know what I'm saying?
I thought I might be more nervous than I was. The first 2 fights, they were almost more nerve-wracking because I still had to prove myself, and they weren't live in front of an audience. It was just in front of like 30 people or so, maybe 30 to 50 people, camera crew and all that. So it was different, and that's almost more nerve-wracking because I hadn't even proved myself at that point. So now that it was live, the nerves weren't there as much. It kind of reminded me of when I used to be quarterback in football, and I just focused, on my opponent. And then I engaged with the crowd a lot more than I thought I would. I was kind of like trying to engage the crowd only if I felt comfortable to do it. And I was more comfortable than I thought I would be. So, I threw my hands up in the air when I was there announcing my name, and then the crowd responded, and I'm like, dang, I didn't know they would actually like me. I just felt like everyone was going to hate me for no reason. Like, I don't know. Sometimes on the come up to get to where I'm at now, it's like a lot of people growing up, they kind of put you down. They don't see the bigger picture. So you just feel like, oh, everyone's going to be like that. So when you actually get up there, everyone wants you to do well.
Right.
So,
That's
and then
dope.
performing and winning in spectacular fashion, getting a performance bonus, that was just surreal. Like in front of Dana White again, this is my third time in front of him, but then a live crowd, Michael Bisping commentating. So it's just like, it's crazy. And then I got hit 3 times because I was like moving into it because I thought my strategy was going to be a little bit more hidden than it actually was. And I timed it pretty bad, but still pulled it off, and it actually made for a better show. So that was cool. And then just like getting on social media afterwards, it's crazy. Just like refresh 100, max out notifications, 100 likes. And it's hard to get off your phone these days now, especially once you start getting in the limelight. So I need to, be more looking to God up here than in here in my phone. But it's so hard now, So I'm just like, the phone, even the iPhones, the Apple has a bite out of it. Like, it's kind of like the forbidden fruit. If you're here all the time in your phone, then you're not with God. So I'm like trying to balance that right now a lot.
Yeah, it's hard,
Trying to
but
stay humble.
right. I'll be honest. The phone is a very big distraction. I feel like
Yeah,
people that do like YouTube or like they live through off like vlogs, streaming. You're pretending to be happy on the camera to
yeah,
entertain the audience,
mm-hmm.
but down deep inside, you can only hold that for so long. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So I'm with you. I think that you just have to find a way to like balance. Like what I do now, like if I go to work, right? I make sure I don't even look at my social media the
mm-hmm.
whole day because I keep checking like, oh, who said that or what happened here. It's just making me lose time, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now what I do is that after work, it's like my free time. Then I can
Yeah,
use my phone. You feel what I'm saying? And
yeah,
check my social media because I could be all day wasting time, bro, and I'm not really
yeah.
gaining knowledge. You feel me?
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, because like for me now, it's becoming my job, so it's kind of good for me to be in my phone a lot. But then there's a point to where it's just like a headache after you're on it all day long.
Yeah, yeah. It's true, bro. I like what you said about the forbidden fruit, man. That's deep, man. That's real deep. There's this is gonna shock you. I don't know if you heard this before, but in the Orthodox Jewish community, there's
Mm,
this thing called kosher phones, which
mm,
you get any phone, right? It could be Apple, it could be Samsung, but the
yeah,
phone does not have um your bank app. It doesn't have your email.
uh,
Doesn't have any social media. Only thing you could do there is use the calculator, text, and call. That's all you could do.
wow.
Yeah, and the reason why they do that is really cool. I like the philosophy is that
Yeah,
they feel like, first thing people usually do when they wake up is check their phone and check how
yeah,
much they got. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And then they're like, I gotta pay my bills, and that could kind of ruin your day if you didn't get your check yet. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So the way they do is like they'll check their bank account later. Like I'll
yeah,
wait until the mail comes in and then I'll see how much I gotta spend, which is hard, man. I can't do
yeah.
it like that. That's discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you might need to spend some money earlier in the day, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
that's
that's
cool though.
right.
Like, it's definitely it's hard because I love getting on my phones. Like I'm the worst at it, but it's working for me. But it's
Yeah,
still to an extent I need to be more in my Bible, more with God than in my phone. So that's hard for me, but I still learn and listen to preaching and whatever on YouTube, but it's not the same as having your relationship with God, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. I think that, when you read, right, you
Hmm.
feel like a moment of peace. Sometimes
Yeah,
that page you read or that verse, you feel connected to what you just read. You feel me?
yeah, definitely.
So it's good, man. I'm proud of you, bro. You still young, bro. You still young. So you got a lot of time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I do want to ask you something, right? This is very interesting. You brought up about football. You know
Mhm.
how it was similar when you were a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say was your like best moments when you play football? Like any good times or any parties we don't know about? Yes, 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 yes.
Well, okay, I played football like middle school age, so from like third grade to eighth grade. So I wasn't in high school or nothing playing it, but I still had the same kind of, especially being quarterback. Similar things. Everyone's watching you. But one of the main things that happened that helped me for everything in life is it's like my first or second game, and since I was a new quarterback then, the huddle was having a problem letting me talk, letting me get the play off. Everyone was butting in, not respecting me. So like I had a full breakdown because I was like telling the coaches like, no one in the huddle will shut up. And so then the coaches got on to everybody. And then while I was sitting on the sidelines, they had to put the backup quarterback in for a little bit, just like crying because I was at that age to where it was a lot and all the pressure was on me. That moment, whenever I got myself back together and went back in there and finished the game, was like life changing. So I applied that to everything. But then, like after that, after every game after that, I had it. Like no pressure. I dealt with it all, and then the team understood how hard it was because even when the backup quarterback went in, he was struggling worse than I was almost. So um, that, just the pressure getting to you, if it just put yourself in the situation, let it go crazy, and the pressure gets you too much to where you blow up and have a mental breakdown. Once you get past that, then every other area of your life that you have to do something similar, where there's a lot of pressure on you, you'll be able to handle. I mean, it's at a different level now. Now it's like potentially the whole world's going to be watching me get slapped in the face and stuff. But I just feel like I'm able to handle it. It helps. I loved football though. I mean, one of the hardest hitters on the field, and then I would like hand the ball off to somebody, and then I would make a block and just knock the dude right over, and I'm the quarterback. So it was fun. Me and my dad. My dad was the coach after my first year. Because my first year I was on like the team that was like the best and we went to the Super Bowl and all that. And then my dad coached me the years after that. So we would do pretty good. And we went to another Super Bowl one year, and it's little league stuff, but it's still fun. And me and my dad, we loved it. It's like the best time of our lives. So whenever we were in Vegas, and everything was taken care of because I did power slap, and he got to stay in my room where it had two king size beds, and so it was nice to repay my dad with just like all the trips and stuff he's done for me in my life. And it just was just like it was back when we were playing football. He was in the stands though this time, but like the rekindling of our relationship was there again because I went and I had to figure out myself and go out into the world and not listen to wisdom all the time and learn that I should have listened to it from the beginning. And so my dad just had to see me go through things that I really didn't have to go through because he was wise enough to tell me. But some stuff, you just got to experience for yourself. But that helped our relationship a lot. Just being able to have him come out of power slap and watch me. It was awesome. And then
Wow.
do good.
That's beautiful, bro. I gotta share this, man. You just said something so powerful. Like, there's you know this for sure, but there's a verse, right? I have to bring this up. It says that when you honor your parents, you will live a long life.
Yeah,
Yeah, my boy does it. So
yeah,
that's a beautiful thing, brother, because you know they brought us to this world, and like you said, we got to pay it forward, right? We got to show them that with gratitude, like, yo, pops, I got you. You know, you got me last time. Let me get you here.
yeah,
Let me take care of you this time. You know,
yeah,
and I think that's good, brother, because as a father, it shows like, man, my son, he learned. You know what I'm saying? He doing the right
yeah.
thing. And I love this part, brother. I gotta say, you know, the fact that your father was your coach, right?
Hmm.
That's a beautiful thing because a lot of kids out there, they wish their parents can come to their
Yeah,
basketball game, football, and they never had their parents there because they're always working. But the fact that your father sacrificed his time, his
yeah,
energy to be with you, bro, that's amazing father right there.
yeah. He was doing the coaching for my football team and everything, and all of other sports too. He did some as well. While he was working at Delta, loading bags on the plane. And then he also had his landscaping business that I took over for a little while after at some point. But so he would do both those jobs and still coach. And just like he would, he showed me how to work hard. And he was always sleepy, always tired, but always making it happen and making sure we were taken care of. So that was just, something he showed me is just how to work hard.
Wow. That's amazing. And I love the fact that you said like after this power slap event, when you guys both came to Vegas, like you guys rekindle your relationship. I love that because
Mm-hmm.
it reminds me of that story. You know this story. I'm gonna quiz you now. Let's see you
The
know this
prodigal
story.
son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about to say it. I'm about to say it, brother. I was about to say it.
I knew
I
what
was
you were
worried
going
if
to
you didn't
say.
know it. I was worried. I say. So, ladies and
Mhm.
gentlemen, for those who don't know, it's a very beautiful story. It's like a parable where there's two
Mhm.
sons, and the father is wealthy. He sends both of them out. One son stays with him and works in the field. The other one does anything you can imagine, spends his money.
He got his father's inheritance.
Yes,
He
yes.
asked for it early.
Yeah, too early, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he spends it on gambling, women, so many things, right? You could think of.
Yeah.
And he loses all. And there's a moment where he's working for somebody, and there's like a bunch of pigs, and he's like, I want
Mhm.
to eat the food of the pig.
Yeah.
And he's like now rethinking about life, and he's like, you know what? I should go see Pops. He goes sees Pops, and his dad is so happy and embraces him, has a big celebration,
Yeah.
and the older son gets a little jealous, like, yo, dad, you
Yeah.
never did this for me. He says, son, you don't understand. You know, he was dead and now he's alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
He
it's
had shame going back to his father too. Is why another reason why he waited so long. The shame because he
yeah,
knew he messed up.
right.
So he didn't go back for a long time, and he's just like it took the pig food and him almost eating it for him to get to his senses and be like, let me just go back home to dad and talk it out.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? What's amazing about that story is that the father, I feel like the father represents God.
Yeah.
When you going through hardship, when you know you're doing the wrong thing, when you know you hit rock bottom, or you know you're feeling depressed, anger, and you leave the family, you leave your friends, and
Mm-hmm.
you're alone, God is waiting for you with open arms to come
Oh,
back and say, "Son, I'm here for you."
yeah.
And we just got to take that initiative. Like, yo, pops, I need you now. I can't handle these problems. I need you to
Yeah.
help me out. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
it's too much. And that's how the story, I feel like, is that God will always be there. He's just waiting
Mm-hmm.
for you. That's it.
Yeah. It's there with open arms.
Right. Right.
the in the story is like the dad saw him in the distance and ran to him, and they ran and met in the middle or something, and then he went to meet him. That's how much he missed his son. And God's
Yeah.
there just like that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
meets us in the middle.
Bro, I love that you know the story. It's wild, bro. I was so shocked. I was like, I gotta share this. I gotta share.
I was like in that situation, and I knew the story while I was at rock bottom, and I'm just like, man, you know. But I couldn't run back to my dad at that point. There's a long story and a lot more to it, but it was like a tough love situation where I had to learn. But I ended up learning, getting some help, people to lean on, and going when I finally actually ran back to God, my life got back together. So
Wow.
just like that.
And can I ask you a question, bro? I know this is a little personal, but what made you leave?
Sorry.
What made you leave? Like, I mean, you ready to spill the beans, but what
Well,
made you take that decision?
I didn't I didn't necessarily leave. Like I had moved out, and there's a lot to it, but
Or what's
it's
the
just
PG
like,
version? What's the PG version?
yeah,
If you,
I'm trying to
yeah, keep
figure
it
out what to
PG
say here.
if you can. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Like I was just having my own struggles with certain substances, and just to the point where I'm like, yeah, my money, and I just felt like I couldn't get an overall look at what life is like. Like I couldn't understand how to operate really. I let it all get in my face, and then I was behind on money so bad that it was just like I feel like I couldn't do anything at that point. Like it was a sinking ship, um, and a lot of it was because of things I did what I wanted to do versus what I knew I needed to do, what God wanted me to do, and I was indulging too much in the things of the world when I should have been keeping my head down, grinding. I still worked out and everything. I always kept that as one of my strengths. I always did something and got good at something, but there would have been a better and easier path to get to where I am now than I had to go through. So,
Wow.
and then I ended up going to a church and um, meeting with a friend, and everything started coming back around whenever I had another Christian in my life to lean on and talk to.
Wow, that's beautiful, brother. I love that to hear that you made like a 180. You came back, brother. We thought we lost you. We're like 10-4, 10-4. We lost him. We lost him.
Yeah,
But you came back, brother, and it's beautiful because now you're like, damn, my pops was right. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
you had to learn that because I'm gonna tell you this, Luke. If you didn't go through what you went through, you wouldn't be the Luke that you are today. I gotta be honest.
yeah, yeah. And like part of it was when my mom passed. That was another thing, just making it easier for me to fall into these areas. My mom passed when I was 19 from multiple sclerosis. So it's a nervous system disease, and the body just shuts down. It depends on the person. Some people it shuts down faster than others. It's like a 5 year, which is pretty fast, but a 5 year decline is pretty fast. But I didn't actually think she was going to pass away just because I was like, there's no way. And she was like one of those people that you know that it's like they don't deserve to die. They're one of the sweetest people around you in your life, and then that's the person that dies, and it just made me look at life differently, and I just went down into a bad rabbit hole and just let myself fall into sin, basically, and then it led me to where it led me, and I hit rock bottom, but then I bounced right back up off rock bottom. The good thing though, like mastering working out and still working out through all my problems and being in the gym, it helped me get that release in the day. I was still getting good at something, so I had something that I was progressing in, no matter what I was not doing good at in life. So that ended up helping me a lot with being able to be good at power slap. being strong. But that's like one of the things God gave me is like I want to be super strong and it come. I wouldn't say come easy, but just that I liked working out and I like training. So I'm obviously gonna succeed in what I love, but the working out part, it's all God, really.
Love that, brother. I love that, and exercise is good because like when I feel you, bro. When I get mad, I just want to hit the weights, like the heaviest weight. I'm just like, oh, I gotta get it. One
Yeah,
more rep, and I feel good afterwards. Even
yeah,
like running outside. Like I love
yeah.
running. It just
I
makes me
started
feel
getting
good.
into that the past 3, 4 years too. So it's the
Nice.
same thing. It's like it hurts, but it feels good because it distracts you from other pain.
Yeah.
And when you get that release, the energy, and it's healthy all at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of spiritual too. I like running outside. When you run outside and you're moving through like areas that I don't know. There's not it's not necessarily dangerous, but there's dangers kind of when you're out running about. You got to watch your cars,
Yeah.
depending on where you're at, certain animals. But it just is a spiritual thing too in a way. Just moving, you're running, and just out there alone with your thoughts.
Yeah.
You're running, yeah, I love it. I run now. It says on my phone I run like 3.8 miles a day on average. So
Whoa.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, brother. That's real good, bro. I ain't gonna
200
lie.
pounds.
Whoa, that's dope. And what about your eating? Like you change your diet now? Like now that you're in Power Slap?
um, I make sure I always am focusing on high protein and I adjust my calories and like carbs and fats as needed. I've never been like someone who's so strict in the bodybuilding space to where I have to eat a certain way to look a certain like I want to look lean obviously, but I usually out train like I stay in the 15% body fat range usually, which is it's not low, but it's pretty low. Yeah, enough to where I still look pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, but if I eat more, then I do more, and then which in turn speeds your metabolism up. So I just eat my protein, and then depending on how much I eat, train accordingly.
Oh wow. So like what would be like a good example, right? Like would you have like three steaks and then eggs and then like is that like a
That's like
typical
the lean
Luke
day.
that's too lean?
Like yeah, for me, my body, I can eat like I can drink like half a gallon of milk and like not put on too much. I mean, that's how I have to gain weight is drinking tons of milk and eating on top of it. It's hard.
Whoa.
So yeah,
So what's your breakfast, brothers? Like, because the breakfast I share, you say that's nothing. Like, I want to hear
well,
what's the real breakfast from Luke or lunch.
it's always different, but it's always high in protein. And then I go through different phases in what I eat. But it was 6 eggs every morning. Now it's starting to be 2 scoops of protein, which was it's 50 grams of protein with some yogurt in there, so it's like another 60 something. And then the fruit, and then I eat that first thing. That's what I've been doing the past week, and I like it because it's like you get tons of calories and carbs, but they're healthy lower fats, get the protein in. Like you can knock out so much of your daily protein in that first meal. So it's been setting me up really good to where I can train and have all the nutrition I need. 'Cause I've always been someone who doesn't eat that much fruit, but now it's like I'm filling in that gap finally.
Wow. Oh, that's good,
But it's
brother.
always different, just high in protein, really.
Oh, that's good. That's good, brother.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing this. Well, look, brother, it looks like Zoom was about to kick me out, so
Okay.
I'm gonna wrap it up. But guys, this is the Outlet to Reality, the oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching ching. Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. The Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat is Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And brother Luke, where can my fans find you?
On Instagram is where I'm mostly at. It's just my name, Luke Simonds. Um, YouTube, it's Luke Lethal Strike Simons. Uh, Twitter or X, it should be just Luke Simonds. I don't know. I'm still working on growing that one. And TikTok is lethal.strike.